Gentlemen, Radio Man here. So, longer form videos I promised. So when I first started messing around with the very first Flex radios, RF was a big issue because you had a box connected to a series of many cables to your computer. Fellow ham that I knew at the time recommended these, and he said, you know, I've used these, and he says they work. And he said some of them would slightly alter your audio characteristics by the design. It would kind of act like a choke point. And he said he'd found that these had always worked. I can think of using these going back to all the way to 2005, somewhere thereabouts. So PAC Audio, they only come in this configuration. I will have a link in the description where you can get these. Actually, when you do click those links, I do Amazon affiliate marketing, so helps support my channel a little bit. They only come in this configuration with the 3.5mm, hence the part number SNI-1-3.5. I've been known in the past to cut these ends off and put the ends on that I need. And there may be other ones out there, and I've used other ones and they didn't work great. These do work. So like I said, I can show you here. That's my mic line, and I'm going to do a video on my audio setup for my radio, but this is my setup here. And so when I say mic line, the mic going to my CB has audio isolation, and then this is the mic going to my computer for my live streams, and you can see I have one back there. I'm also using one. I use a stereo receiver and a big floor speaker. This is just one of them that you can see. And it has like tape and phono and all that. I feed my different receivers into that, or radios, and I would key up and this thing would motorboat and go boom. I put those on, boom, gone. So when I was doing my live streams, you wouldn't hear it in the live stream, the boom, but the RF was coming through the computer and then going back into my CB. So I put that on, fixed it. I've used these in my mobile because it was going through my car stereo speakers. All this is internally, and these used to come apart a lot easier, and I don't want to destroy it. A long time ago, I took this apart to see what's in it. You have a 1-to-1 transformer and a cap basically on one side and the other. So what they're doing is they're decoupling. I don't know if you guys know how transformers work, but basically you can almost think of, you know, if you have an audio signal passing through a wire, imagine chopping that wire. All right, now you've cut the signal. Well, what they do is they put a transformer with 2 windings. Those 2 windings are coupled by electrically, but they're not physically touching. So the signal can still pass through, but there's a break here. And then they put a capacitor to catch any stray AC that may be on the line. And then there's a wire link. So you can imagine you have your transformer here, right? That's decoupled this side, and it goes through a cap. And so there's not a physical, if you were to ohm this out, there's no physical connection. But it is electrically coupled by the transformer. There's a wire link between the output. Here, let me pick that up. Let me get a pointer here. So on the input side, it's physically decoupled, but between on the, how do I explain this? So the output of the input side is electrically connected to the input of the output side, but there is no physical wire link going across here. So that's how you break up that RF that's going through. So there may still be RF on one side of this, the other, but it's not able to jump to the other side. And that's how it's acting like a diode. I mean, that's not technically correct, but so yeah, if you were to ohm this out, the easiest way to think of it is that it's not electrically connected, but it still allows audio signals to pass through. So these work. Now, there may be 1,001 ways to skin a cat on this, but for $10, like, this just works for me, and I move on to the next thing. Could I build something? Is there other products that maybe come with screw terminals? Sure. I don't know. These work. I know that they do kind of boast. Does it say so on this package? These guys make all kinds of other stuff. I was just trying to see. I read somewhere that these guys kind of boast. It's car stereo stuff. It doesn't say on the package. But on the specs that, and this friend of mine that recommended it, he worked in the broadcast industry, and he said some of these that you buy, they restrict your audio. So you could be doing like what I'm doing with this soundboard setup, and you're putting all this audio through, and this thing's choking it. And I read in the specs that these things, they claim not to restrict your audio. And really the main selling point for me is that I like when I can just buy something, connect it, and walk away. And that's what this is, and I just been buying them. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. And you know, if you guys have speakers or anything like that, and you're being plagued with RF issues on your audio lines or your mic lines, something worth trying. These have not let me down. So anyways, this is Radio Man, and have yourself a good day. Radio Man out.